different companies, let's say. We want to partner and to have sponsorship even, or to be funded by different companies. So in Bulgaria, because in Bulgaria we are Eastern country, and we are, let's say, 90% in the gray economy. Lots of like most of the businesses in Bulgaria. Now it's not that much, but just recently, till recently, Bulgaria was in the gray area, like the place where all Europe is washing their money. And in Bulgaria, if you want to be, how to say, there is this conflict. If you want to be pure, for people to believe you that you're not taking some dirty money, for example, or you have to be really, really pure. So I was asking myself, how can I be pure, for example? How can our organization be pure if we want, for example, for Coca-Cola to be our sponsor, let's say like this. Everybody will say, okay, Coca-Cola, we all know that they're not doing good for society, they are social responsible. They have some kind of social responsibility, but the product is bad for your health. How can you get money from them? They're just washing their money, and they just want to increase their image. And at the same time, I was thinking a lot about this question because it was bothering me. I didn't know what side should I take in this. And then I understood something else, that if you want to change, of course, you won't work with the purest of the pure. You won't work with the organizations that are already doing their stuff for society and for the environment. You will do it with companies which are not doing it. You will work with companies that are, how to say, that are, yeah, let's say it, but it's a really, yeah, generic, like generated. It's not exactly evil, but yeah, that are not doing good, let's say. Of course, you have to work with this company because you have to change their minds so they can bring the positive impact. And the companies that are bringing positive impact most of the time, they will do it anyway. So we need to increase it. So this is what I wanted to say, that if you want to change, something, it's not just to do it, to completely remove it, or just say, no, this is not true, we have to do it in another way. We have to slowly transition, everything is a process, slowly transition from the mindset. How are we doing the business? Because money, like everything else, is energy. It's just a tool. So it depends how you use this tool. If you use it for social good, your money will be, they will have different value. If you do it for some bad stuff, or if you do it just for the money won't have value at all. So this is what I wanted to say.
Great, thank you. That was nice. Questions, discussions, critiques? Yes.
Meanwhile, I just want to confirm that these two panel speakers are here.
Are they here?
Ms. Jane
Okay.
War, and the other one is
Okay,
Ms.
is that you, the two of you?
Miss Jane War.
Who's Jen Nora?
Miss
Who
Asawari
are they?
Salvan.
Are they here?
No,
No.
they're not. Okay.
They're not,
That's
they're
fine.
not.
All right.
Okay. So, yeah, you had a question.
Actually, I'm sorry I bumped in late.
Yeah.
I was attending another session.
It's fine.
And,
It's allowed.
I don't know enough about what you already talked. I'm actually dealing in sustainable, applicable living for the 21st century. Why sustainable? I think that's a no-brainer, hopefully, which is not so hopeful. Replicable is because we don't have too much time. We're already 8 billion people on the planet. And in the past 1 century, we had about 6 trillion people. And if the rate of growth continues, that's what it's bad. Number two is that everybody wants to live life the way the Americans do. And Americans are roughly about 3% of the global population and consuming about 24% of the resources. So it is obviously unsustainable. The other issue basically is how do we make sure that the earth is sustainable? Because if it is not, then we've got a planet very close to Earth called Mars. And people tell me a couple of X billion years or million years ago it was inhabited. I mean, I'm not not an astrologer or anything, but probability is reasonably high. So in case we want at least 3 generations from now to be alive on this planet, we don't have a choice. How do we make this change? And I think this is what we're talking about.
Okay.
Any ideas, any suggestions?
Okay. I think it's an open question. I'm not going to answer this, giant question of how do we make the world sustainable, but we can have a conversation. And if other people want to relate to the talks, or you have an answer?
There is, I speak really loud, so I don't think maybe. Sorry.
Okay.
I think that what you're asking is like the ways, what methodologies or what concepts can do this. And it depends what do you mean by sustainable. Do you mean that it can support itself with the money it gets, or the impact that it will have, even in the mindset, will be sustainable, like it will stay? What do you mean?
Okay, actually, what I mean is much simpler than what you were talking about. I'm talking about something. Look, we got this room. We got X resources available. Fine. If you got, let's say, 10 people here, they consume them in, let's say, 1 year's time. You got 100 people here, they consume them in 1/10 of that time. And that's exactly, if you take the planet as this room, which it is, it's fairly insulated and isolated from the rest of the solar system and the world, then can we afford to do whatever we are doing in life? And if it can't, what the consequences of not being able to do it? Stop it. Pretty serious. Now, nobody I know is, at least I don't think too many people think, everybody thinks about how do I make more money or how do I get a bigger house or a bigger car, all that stuff. But nobody is concentrating on making sure that we are going to be around here as a species. We have to enjoy the bigger house. And if we don't do that, we are heading to trouble. So how do we change the global thinking and our individual attitudes to hopefully understand the problem and start working in that direction?
Okay. I suggest we leave it as an open question because it's a giant question.
Yeah, just one
Yeah.
thing, which is concrete. There is now, it's very popular now, the concept of the growth. The concept of the growth. Have you heard it in the space? The problem of the concept of the growth is to start doing business and to start doing business without reaching, aiming to develop a lot, but to keep one particular level, not wanting to develop more, but just to be, like we say, sustainable. I think that this is the way that we can change the current situation, because we are developing pretty fast, and the human mind, in our own personal lives for 60, 70 years, we cannot develop like that fast. So I think that if we start following the concept of the growth, we can come, let's say, like maybe more visual, we can come down and we can start thinking what is happening more how to say, with more wisdom,
But I can say you're challenging me, so I will give it a try and say that using the critical perspective, that I presented here, using the critical perspective I presented here, I would ask, what does it mean to sustainability of the world? 1,500 people coming to this conference, flying all the way to be in a 5-star hotel that's air-conditioned, that's very expensive. How is that contributing to the Is it contributing enough? Is it not contributing enough? I mean, these are the type of questions I would ask if I was engaged in sustainability of the world. So I was talking about how I work with my students. This would be one of the questions I would ask my students if that was their project. Yeah.
If I can relate to what you said, I feel if I can relate to what you mentioned now, I think it's a lot about awareness. Because for me, it's awareness. Because for me, when I first came to India, what bothered me the most is what happened in a third world country, not just in India, that in one way people adapt all the new, what you see in a modern country, like package, like new products and whatever it is, but they are not capable to deal with the garbage that is created. So people have to be more, like even these people in India or in other places, in the West, people are more capable, the municipality is more capable to deal with the garbage. Here, the problem is that then you understand the value and the benefit. And as much awareness that people have, then they will adapt the good thing and avoid the bad thing that the West do.
Okay, thank you. Just a minute.
This is a good
Yeah.
question as well.
Just a minute.
It's, you don't see everything in the West as the good. There are good things in the East and you have to keep it. Or in the old world that you need to keep them. And this is, as for me, sustainable. That means sustainable. To keep your old tradition, your old, the culture itself, and not adapt everything that comes from outside.
Oh, wait. I'm giving the permission for that. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sue. I live in Singapore. I work in brand insight strategy, and I found brand insight and strategy and innovation. And I found your paradox questions really fascinating. You know, in what we should always be asking ourselves, and particularly have been doing so many campaigns of empowerment for women, etc. So, what I'm really curious to understand is the students in your course. What sort of careers are they taking and pursuing afterwards to be able to impact the world with, you know, this great thought provocative?
Thanks. I think people can make, our perspective in the program is that wherever you are, you can make change. So if you're working in a branding organization, not even doing campaigns about women's empowerment, you could still look at what the branding organization is doing, the structure, the diversity, the rights of the people, who is being encouraged and who isn't, how can you change the way the frameworks that people are thinking within, who is being exploited in the organization. And I actually think people can make more change when they're working from the places they're situated in. So I initiated this program within my university because I have the resources, because I'm there, because I could see that it's taking place, because this is my world and it's easy for me to initiate and make inner change. And I think women can either work in social entrepreneurships, but they can, if you're a nurse and you're in a hospital, you can make a lot of changes within that hospital. If you're a waitress in a five-star hotel, you could probably make changes within the hotel. So my paradigm is that people can change things wherever they're situated, and that's why we also enable students to work and do the practice voluntarily in private offices where they're not paid, but still it's a private firm, or in third sector organizations and NGOs, or in the public sector. And I think you can make change, like Harbin is doing this conference. Nobody really nominated her to do this, and I think people can make different choices of what they want to do in this conference and what type of groups they want to build up